I came home for Christmas. Not just for the holiday, but for the warmth, the lights, the family, the smell of cinnamon, pine, burnt cookies, and my grandmother's awful peppermint candles. Instead, the house was quiet, too quiet. No laughter, no rustling of wrapping paper, not even the hum of Christmas music in the background. The tree was up, sure, blinking weakly in the corner like it was embarrassed to be here. The plastic star on top flickered like it was trying to apologize. The only sound? The soft clinking of a fork against a plate. "Hello?" I called out, stepping inside. "In here, sweetheart," came a tired voice from the kitchen. I turned the corner and stopped cold. It was just Grandma, sitting alone in her purple knit sweater, eating cold stuffing and half a slice of ham. Her hands shook slightly as she set her fork down. "Where is everyone?" She didn't answer right away, just gave me a sad little smile and slid a piece of torn notebook paper across the table. No envelope, just my name, scribbled in black pen. I unfolded it. "Used your $8,500 loan for a family cruise. Please take care of Grandma. Love, Mom." I read it twice, then a third time. My brain stopped processing anything past loan and cruise. That money was for my dental surgery. I'd saved for over a year. Night shifts, weekends, driving Uber, skipping meals, skipping sleep. And they just took it. Grandma was watching me like she was waiting for a bomb to go off. "I guess they figured you wouldn't mind," she whispered, folding her napkin with shaky fingers. "They left yesterday." I sank into a chair. No warning, no call, no goodbye, just a note. "They just left you here?" I muttered. She gave a dry laugh. "Oh, honey, you know they only call when they need something." I nodded slowly, my hands clenched into fists under the table. This wasn't the first time. It was just louder. Grandma picked up her juice, took a small sip, looked me dead in the eyes and said, "We'll fix this." I didn't answer, but something inside me cracked, and something colder started to take its place. That night, Grandma went to bed early. She said her hips were acting up again, too many hours in that old kitchen chair. She kissed my cheek, patted my shoulder and whispered, "You were always the kind one, the only one who stayed." Then she shuffled down the hallway with that little limp she'd had ever since she slipped on the porch 2 winters ago, the fall nobody took her to rehab for. And I just sat there, in silence, no music, no lights, just the ticking clock and that damn note on the table. I stared at it. The loan. My money? I remembered every rideshare shift, every skipped lunch, every sleepless night. $8,500. Gone. I opened our family group chat. No, Merry Christmas. Nothing. I scrolled. The last message from Mom? "Don't forget to transfer the loan to Dad's account before prices go up." Loan died. Why? They never called it a gift, because they knew it wasn't. I remembered Mom's voice when she first pitched it. "It's just temporary, honey. We'll pay you back by February. You can reschedule your dental thing." And like always, I nodded. I nodded when they needed help with Jacob's school. I nodded when they asked for money to cover Dad's gambling debts. I nodded when Kelly couldn't pay rent because her boss was mean. Because if I didn't, I was selfish, ungrateful, not a team player. Because family comes first. Because after everything we've done for you. But they kicked me out at 17 when I wouldn't lie for Jacob after he stole Grandma's painkillers. They missed my graduation. Forgot my birthday. 3 years in a row. But when it came to money, oh, suddenly I was family again. The next morning I started digging. Turns out they weren't just on a cruise. They were on a 5-star fantasy. The majestic Aurora. 10 days. Caribbean. Private butlers. Infinity pools. $3,000 per person. How do I know? Because Emily posted a picture on Instagram. 4 of them. Matching robes. Champagne glasses. Big smiles. Caption: finally, some peace away from all the leeches and negativity. Leeches. They used my money. Abandoned grandma. And called me a leech. That was the moment something snapped. Not anger. Not sadness. Focus. 4 days later, they came back. The same people who stole my money and vanished without a word. They pulled into the driveway like nothing happened, laughing, dragging suitcases, smelling like duty-free perfume and entitlement. Emily walked in first, braid curled perfectly, nails freshly done, dragging the designer suitcase like she'd just returned from war. Ugh, so glad to be home. That last dinner gave me hives. Mom followed, still wearing sunglasses indoors like some villain from a soap opera. Didn't even clean up while we were gone? She said, stepping over Grandma's shawl like it was a trash bag. Dad came next, face puffy and red, probably from too many Buffett trips. Grunted when he saw me. Oh, you're still here. And finally, Jacob didn't even glance at Grandma. Just dropped his bags and crashed onto the couch. I said nothing. I was sitting at the kitchen table, hands folded. Calm. Where's dinner? Mom asked, eyeing the counter like she expected a roast. In the fridge, I said. Plenty of ham left, the one you left behind. Jacob chuckled. Still stuck on that? Dude, just order takeout. It's not like you're broke. Non fair. I stood up. Glad you're all here. Sit down. Jacob groaned but slumped into a chair. Emily was too busy looking for a phone charger. Dad cracked his knuckles. I turned the laptop toward them. Clicked play. Slide 1, a spreadsheet. Every dollar taken from Grandma's pension. Every ATM withdrawal made from her card. Every so-called emergency payment that turned out to be Sephora and Apple charges. Where did you get this? Mom snapped. Her bank, I said. Maybe don't use someone else's login next time. Slide 2, screenshots of Venmo transfers. Login records. Emails from Mom to Emily. He won't notice the cruise deposit. He trusts us. Emily replying, who leaves Grandma alone on Christmas anyway? My jaw was tight, but I wasn't done. One more tab. A voice recording. Kelly, Jacob's wife. On my porch. Crying. I begged him not to do it, but Jacob said if you didn't give the money, they'd just leave her. I didn't want to lie anymore. Jacob jumped to his feet. You recorded my wife? That's illegal. She asked me to, I said. She was tired of covering for you. Dad stood now too, red with rage. You little snake. I opened one last file. An email. Subject: formal report, elder financial abuse. Attached: screenshots, statements, the voice memo. Recipients: the Social Security Fraud Division, Grandma's lawyer, the county ombudsman, 2 local news desks. You have 48 hours, I said, calm as ice, to return every cent, or I send everything. Emily's hands trembled. You're bluffing. No, you destroyed this family. I'm just sending the invoice. And then, Grandma stood. She hadn't said a word. She stepped to the head of the table, placed one hand on the chair, and looked at them, eyes full of quiet, ancient fury. I raised you. I fed you. Protected you. And when I couldn't even walk, you left me with frozen beans and moldy pie while you sipped champagne on stolen money. Tune. She paused. Her voice lowered. You're lucky it's him handling this. If it were me. She didn't finish. She didn't need to. Dad stormed out. Emily tried to hug Grandma, who turned away. Jacob just glared. You're not family anymore. Exactly, I said. I'm finally free. They thought I was bluffing. Even after the files. The confrontation. Grandma's silence. But the next morning? Nothing. Not a word. Day 2. I hit send. Every file. Every screenshot. Filed with authorities and press. 6:13 p.m. I got confirmation. A case was opened. Day 3. It exploded. 12 missed calls from Jacob. Texts from Mom. Don't destroy the family over money. You're being dramatic. Take the post down. Let's talk. I didn't respond. I forwarded everything to my attorney, Natalie, a woman with the calm ruthlessness of a brain surgeon. By noon, she had sent out formal intent to sue letters. Charges: elder financial abuse, unauthorized account access, misuse of family loans. Total owed, with damages, $14,322.85. That evening, Mom came to the door. No makeup. Hair a mess. Can we talk? She whispered. Only if you brought a checkbook. She handed me an envelope. Inside, a cashier's check. $8,500. No interest? I asked. You're lucky to get this at all, she snapped. You're ruining your own mother. No, I said, stepping outside. I'm turning my back on a thief. Emily paid in installments. I made her send receipts. Jacob claimed he didn't care until Kelly left him. Filed for separation. Said she wouldn't let their kids grow up with lies. She called me. I'm sorry it took this long. But you showed me who he really is. Go. 2 days later, Jacob showed up. Exhausted. Broken. You ruined everything. No, I said, handing him legal papers. You did. By the end of the second week, all the money was returned. I used some of it for my surgery. Bought Grandma a lift chair and hired a nurse. The rest went into an account only she and I could access. When I showed her the balance, she cried. They took everything from me, she whispered. But not you. They stopped calling. But they talked. Posted online. Emily posted. Some people don't understand forgiveness. With a church candle emoji. Mom told relatives I manipulated Grandma. Left out the part where she used Grandma's pension for her liposuction. Jacob posted a reel with Succession audio, claiming betrayal. I laughed. 10 minutes straight. 3 weeks later, in a grocery store, a stranger approached us. Are you the one from the article? I froze. The one who saved his grandmother? I nodded. She touched my arm, smiled. Thank you. My mom went through the same thing, but no one fought for her. She walked away. Grandma was silent, tears in her eyes. I didn't think anyone saw us, she said. They do now. I moved out. Got a better job. Took Grandma with me. She decorated her room with old photos and a crocheted blanket from 1993. One night, she sat on my bed. Why didn't you just leave when you saw that note? I thought about it, then said, because I remembered who I was before they made me forget. She looked at me. I'm proud of you, sweetheart. And somehow, that meant more than anything they'd ever said. I finally chose peace. And this time, I chose me.